All right, game number 1 for the last slot in the semifinals is underway. Team OP in the blue in the bottom left, Team Fnatic in the red in the top right. And I have a funny story for you guys actually while these teams are just fanning out, protecting their jungles. In order to determine who gets top and who gets bottom of the map, we actually do a coin flip before the game start. And whoever wins the coin flip gets to pick if they want top or bottom, basically. And so I was watching the coin flip, and Shushay was calling it, and he called heads, and he was like, I don't know which side is heads because it's a Korean coin, but I'm going to call heads. And they called it, and there was some tension in the air. They flipped the coin, and we all watched the coin to see where it landed, and it fell in a crack between the stage. And so we didn't actually find out what the coin was, so we had to flip another coin. Someone lost 101. Falling in the crack there.
Ooh, that's not too good. But so then they also lost the flip, giving Team OP the choice of a blue for the first round, and then also blue for the blind pick if it gets to that point.
Yeah, they actually won 2 coin flips, one for each of those. But we decided that it was probably heads underneath the stage, so really secretly Fnatic won the coin toss, but since we didn't know it, we had to reflip.
Well, because you couldn't actually see, it's kind of a blind call, right?
That's right.
So for the blind pick, it should have gone to Fnatic.
That's right, exactly. All right. Corn Salad's going to help out Nolja with those raids, and then we're going to see Udyr move over to the jungle. Paragon and Ashart are going to take out these golems in the meantime. Kind of interesting considering that Udyr's starting at red.
Well, yeah, he's starting at red, but then as soon as he gets that, he's going to be able to go to counter jungle if he wants to go to the raids of Fnatic. However, Fnatic did plan on this. They did put a ward by the raids to know if that's going to be happening. Just Fate and Nocturne could just converge on that. But it does look like Nolja is just going to go to his blue instead. Safe move. He's going to be able to go through the jungle a little bit quicker than Nocturne.
Yeah, and we did have a lot of help going off for taking that red buff, so that means that Udyr is going to have his smite up, which means he can actually just go over there and at level 2 solo the blue golem as well. So very cool move there. Cyanide, of course, did use his smite on the blue buff already.
Yep, but he'll still be able to take down the red relatively quickly, unless Nolja comes in here to say something about it. He's got 2 options here. He can either go to try to defend against Nocturne, or he can go for an early gank here against Shushay.
Fair stance, it's going to stun Shushay. Can't Shushay get out of this? He's forced to flash very early on. Very strong gank there, actually, coming in through the bushes.
Yeah, it's good to attack Wukong early on before he does get that decoy ability to jump away from a lot of different ganks. It's going to be a lot harder for them to come up against him later on. But keeping the pressure on Shushay early is really good for Team OP. Kind of throw him off his game. But Xpeke is going to be chased away from his lane just temporarily. Udyr being a very scary animal spirit.
Yeah, I really like that. Just getting the very quick level 3 and then doing a couple ganks just to throw off the top lane, throw off the mid lane as well. But Xpeke got out of there without too much effort, so he's not in any trouble. He still has his flash up. So.
Well, that's a great thing about...
he used his ghost, actually. I'm sorry. He actually used to use his ghost.
Oh, even better. That's the great thing about Udyr is because he goes through his own jungle so quickly, you've got a bunch of extra seconds, you can do anything with it. So even though he's going to these ganks and not getting the kills, he's disrupting the mentality of the opponents. And sometimes that's all your ally needs to be able to get that slight edge in the lane and continue to farm what you need.
Yeah, indeed. Nolja sneaking in and stealing the wolves and then going after Xpeke in the middle. Xpeke does get away as we see on the minimap, but Cyanide is setting up for a gank here up at the top. And Lilac has no idea this is coming. He's just farming away. What is he waiting for? Maybe waiting for some cooldowns. There he goes in, and Cyanide just stays in the bush and doesn't attack. That's puzzling.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. He wouldn't have been able to get the kill if he ran in there, but just like with Udyr, he could have done a bunch of disruptive damage, but instead he's just going to decide to not let Team OP know where he was at all and go back to his lane.
Oh, here he comes after Xpeke, the flash! Oh! And first blood goes to Corn Salad on Kassadin. Up at the top, a battle going on as well. Shushay might go down as well. Oh no! 2 kills for Team OP in a matter of about 10 seconds. And oh no, Nolja catching Cyanide in the jungle as well. It's going to take a Wraith or 2 as his prize and go back to the middle. Wow, this is Not a good start for Team Fnatic.
No, not at all. And that's showing a bunch of the power of Udyr. If you have a really organized team, you can do a lot of damage really early and take away money from your opponent jungle, which we saw in the Wraith area. That is also going to allow Cassidy to go back and buy a Ruby Crystal and a Sapphire Crystal. Can't quite get the Catalyst yet, but that's going to give him a lot of extra sustain in his lane to be able to fight against Twisted Fate, who only was able to get a Doran's Ring when he went back after being killed.
Yeah, notice he did start off with those boots. Boots are pretty standard, actually, start for mid lane, but extremely important for a melee champion like Cassidy to be able to, like we just saw there, dodge the wild card ability. Oh, man. Taking a chunk of health off of Xpeke there. Corn Salad again dodging wild cards. Beautiful play there, just doing the pokes where he can.
Yep.
But as we can see, it's easier for Xpeke to force the minions up against Corn Salad's turret. So it's easier for him to force him to lose CS, and as a result, Twisted Fate is a little bit ahead in the creep score right now.
There we go. He gets that stun off, and then he can get.
Oh no,
the rest
but
of
he's
his
level
cards.
6. Xpeke is silenced. Oh, yellow card's Nolja to keep himself from getting stunned. Nicely done, but is he going to be able to get away? The flash. Cyanide comes in, trying to get the fear off to slow them down, and instead, Xpeke goes down again. Wow. Not good at all. Some pressure being put on down here. Both teams actually doing some damage on each other, but it's relatively uneventful. But look at this. Udyr again counter jungling those wolves. He's just going to take the big wolf again, I imagine, and then leave. Yep. And
Yeah.
oh, he might even get their blue.
It is getting pinged though, so both teams are going to be converging on this. This will be a fight if Nolja does not run away quickly, but he is going to be able to smite the blue and then get out. Shanna might get caught, but no, she does use her flash and Howling Gale to keep Xpeke away. Meanwhile, Cyanide is catching Corn Salad off. Corn Salad is low on mana, so he can't do a lot of maneuverability. Shard taking a lot of damage from Xpeke as well. They're going to be looking to get one pick here, but nothing happening quite yet. A lot of hurt going on Xpeke.
Xpeke goes down again despite some heals by Soda. Cyanide is being targeted next. And wow, his teammates just say, all right, you're dead. We're going to get out of here. So it's only 2 kills instead of 4.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication there by Fnatic. They didn't all target the same champion, so all of OP is at half health, but none of them are at 0 health. Meanwhile, Fnatic lost both Xpeke and Cyanide because they were able to get caught by Corki, do a lot of burst damage very quickly.
Yeah, and notice because Xpeke has died 2 or 3 times already, he's actually not even level 6 yet, so that's why he couldn't even escape or track down Janna in that battle.
Yeah, and now that he's relatively far behind, only 2 Doran's range, Cassidy's going to be able to get their own blue because Nolja got Fnatic's blue. And with 2 kills, 2 assists, he's going to be able to go back shortly after they do this invasion on Cyanide and Red.
He's going to smite steal it. And Corn Salad is there as well. They're actually going to go straight for Cyanide. Never mind, they're not going to go for the smite steal. They're going to kill Cyanide. It's 3 versus 1 in the jungle. Cataclysm goes down, trying to isolate them. The Ash Arrow comes in as well, but it's not going to be enough. Is Nolja going to get out of this? No, it looks like they are going to get a kill in return on Nolja.
Well, it was nice that Ash Arrow was able to pick off a Lilac very quickly, and Nolja goes down as well. Very nice conversion from Fnatic to be able to bring it back to 2.
But is he going to go down to this Fed? Cassidy, Xpeke has been abandoned by Wukong. He's pinging to try and get some help now. Corn Salad, all he has to do is... Oh, he could have gotten that kill, but instead decides not to risk it with Wukong nearby and gets out of there. I think it's a wise move.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate for Shushan to move away back to his lane a little too early. If you were there, they would have most likely been able to get that kill against Corn Salad. But Corn Salad going to be able to go back to his lane with impunity and continue to farm before he has to go back as well and spend a lot of that cash that he was able to get.
Got to spend that cash.
Yep. Meanwhile, of course, grabbing 1 Doran's Blade and then already trying to go for that Trinity Force, grabbing the Phage and the Sapphire Crystal to be able to get the Sheen early on. Normally you'd see 2 or 3 Doran's Blades before moving into the higher items, but because they're a little bit weaker now, it might be a little bit smarter to go for the higher level items a little bit sooner.
Up at the top lane, Jarvan has been winning that lane against Wukong. He's got a little bit extra, he's got about 17 extra creep score for Jarvan, which means that they've got the same items, except Jarvan has a Heart of Gold in addition, instead of that Ninja Tabby.
Yep.
Oh, Nocturne might be going for a gank bottom though, and they really need to get a kill on Ashe so badly if they're going to try and turn this game around. And Team OP pushing in a little bit on bottom. They're probably going to... Oh, the Ashe arrow whiffs! Oh no, that would have been a kill easily if it hit a shard. Nocturne would have been able to ult in there, but instead...
Yeah, Nocturne's ult able to be activated from quite far away. You just have to activate initially and then be able to jump on a champion. So if the Ashe arrow had actually hit, then they would have been able to convert that into a kill very easily with Nocturne in the area. But meanwhile, Shushe and A Lilac are going to be dueling once again up top. Shushe dropping the cyclone down.
The Ignite goes down on both of them. He decoys out of it. Is he going to be able to get the kill? Lilac, it's... Oh no! Oh no! Almost gets the kill. Oh! Shushe's Ignite is about 30 seconds from cooling down. If it had been a little bit later, he would have had Ignite on Cyanide. He would have gotten that kill, but instead loses the battle. Oh, it's too bad he didn't have Ignite there.
That is very true. It's also a little bit unfortunate that he got ignited before he actually went into decoy, so the Ignite was doing damage while he was still invisible. If that had not happened when he came out from going invisible, he would have been able to actually get that last hit on A Lilac, and that would have gone the other way. Yeah,
or if he even could have ignited the decoy, would have been the optimal thing. Of course, he probably would have realized it.
Yeah.
Not ignited it, but I'm just saying, if the timing had been right.
Right. Udyr signaling to try to set up an invasion against Nocturne, but with Wukong there as well, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Xpeke having to go home, spend some money, try to get up to an even place with Corn Salad. Corn Salad actually grabbing a Medjai Soul Stealer. That's an item that if you can get a lot of kills, it starts getting extremely valuable. But if you don't get up to the 6 stacks on that item, it's not exactly cost effective. It's also a kind of a taunt, because when your opponents see that you have one of those stackable items, they're going to focus you as quickly as possible, make sure that you keep as low as possible with those stacks.
Oh, they might be going for a dragon here. The entire Team OP is grouping up down here. Actually, they might try and steal Fnatic's blue, and yeah, they're going to have to abandon it with only 2 players there at the blue. Team OP is the entire team grouped up here to take this blue out. They are going to get it.
Yeah, this is great timing by OP to know the exact timing of when that blue is going to come up, because they stole the last one. Able to get that, have a slight fighting advantage, and then go immediately for Dragon. Because they know Wukong is still up at top lane, he's not going to be able to fight anytime soon. He does not have teleport. He's not going to be able to contest this. So that's going to be a Dragon going to OP at the a little after the 13-minute mark. So really nice job taking that gold lead and bringing it up to almost 3K.
Bottom 2. Corn Salad and Nolja above the tower. Paragon and Ashart up below it. Are they going to dive in on that? Nocturne is nearby for support. And of course, Twisted Fate can get there pretty quickly as well. So this might be a bad idea for Team OP, depending... I mean, Melissan and Lamia both have their ults up, so they can stun people that jump on top of them. This could turn around very quickly. They're going to go for it. Their Nolja is coming in for the stun. The stun goes off there. Nocturne coming in. Oh, the General gets everyone off there, but are they going to get any kills? Nolja solo on health, barely getting out, and they turn it around. Fnatic is solo on health too. Their hero's so low. Paragon is barely going to be able to get a kill before dying to Lamia. Can't expect to clean anyone up. He's getting some damage down on Ashart, and I don't think he's quite going to be able to get the kill there, so it turns into a 2-for-2. Ashe and Udyr both barely getting alive. Udyr was like, maybe I shouldn't go for these golems after all.
Yeah, it was really important for Udyr to get out of that fight quickly. He does have an Oracles on him, so he wants to try to save that. But also very good for Xpeke to get those kills. Now, he has the blue buff in mid lane, so even though Team OP was able to kill the golem to get the buff initially, get that extra experience and money, the buff actually does transfer back to Fnatic, so it's going to be really good for Xpeke in the middle lane with Twisted Fate. Maybe he can start going for some ganks relatively soon, but he did have to use his ultimate to be able to prevent that gank at bottom lane. Nice turnaround from Fnatic. It wasn't even in kills, but I think the positioning is a little bit in Fnatic's favor right there, so that's exactly what they need to do. Bringing the gold deficit to about 2.5K, where it was about 3 before. So slight advantage there.
Very good read as well, by the way. You can see Nocturne was camping sort of just above their tower. He knew that they were going to go for that, and he's like, all right, I'm going to wait here, and just when things get hairy, I'm going to ult in there. It's exactly what happened. It was beautifully done by Team Fnatic. Can they turn things around, though? They are only a few K gold behind, going after Lilac, but no, the tower goes down, and Shushe is going to bite the dust. Tried to flash out, but got hit, and actually, I think he wasted his flash as a result.
Yeah, that was nice timing by Corn Salad. Wait until that turret goes down and then jump in right after that. When you're the defending player and your turret's going to go down, you need to make sure that there's no enemy champions in the area, because as soon as it's gone, where you are is no longer a safe zone at all. And you need to be able to be aware of something like that as a possibility. Nice burst from Xpeke, doing a little bit of damage to Nolja, but not enough to keep him away from these creeps.
Oh wow, jumping over into the tower to go after Xpeke, 3v1, and he is going to die again. Oh man, this is going to be such a frustrating game for him. You can just kind of see it on his face a little bit. Xpeke has died 4 times. He's gotten 3 kills and an assist though, so not as if he's just feeding or anything like that. But
yep, but all those kills were during those team fights, so yes, he has the kills, but as far as just overall damage that he's doing the other team, falling a little bit behind Cassidy here, especially since Cassidy does have that Soul Stealer. Getting 2 assists after dying before is going to start building up those stacks, make him more and more powerful.
Yeah, I can't.
Can you see?
I couldn't read how many stacks that was. I think he's at 4 stacks right now. Since I think he's actually only gotten 1 kill and 3 assists since he picked that up, yep. which would be 5 stacks, I guess.
And for any of the newer players out there, a stack is essentially when you get a kill or assist, you gain value on that item. But when you die, you actually lose a good portion of it depending on the item. So it's something that you can snowball out of control when you're doing really, really well, but it's an item that you don't want to get unless you're 100% confident that you're going to do well. Corn Salad, not Corn Snalad, has snuck into this bush. He was going to try and go for a gank here. I don't know if they know he's there yet. Oh, this could be very, very bad for Sona. She's all by her lonesome. And there are 4 champions there. Yep.
That looks like they might just push this tower here. Noel's just going to take out the ward in the bush. Uh-oh, Cassidy going after Xpeke here. Corn Salad might get a kill straight off. Nope, Xpeke able to get back to his tower.
Yeah, just scaring Xpeke away from the creeps a little bit, able to get a little bit more. Cyanide once again being scared away from their own blue buff. It's going to be 3 champions versus 3, so Fnatic might have a little bit of an advantage to fight here, but no, Corn Salad is in the area as well. They do not want to fight that. Jarvan also coming in to join the fight, so now there's 5 people in the jungle of Fnatic, but they're not in any sort of strong position to be able to fight against this. Still a little while before Dragon comes up, so it's not too bad to leave them in their own jungle as long as they don't get in a disadvantageous position in any of their lanes and get seriously ganked upon. But no, instead, all 5 of Fnatic are going to actually push this bottom turret if they can get this down before losing the middle turret, but no, they do not. It's actually a little bit of a misdecision there. They're not even going to be able to push this one down, even with 5 versus 2.
Miami needs to get out of there. Took a silence and a slow, now another slow. The mid turret is going to go down. Oh, are they going to turn things around? They almost get Corn Salad. Ashard barely saving him. I think Ashard's probably going to die. No, they're not going to dive it.
Wow.
What, I'm a little surprised by that. It might be because they do not know where the other 3 members of OP are and they want to retreat, because indeed those 3 members are heading down there. Now Dragon is up and it's going to go down. Back down very quickly. So close. Almost 2 kills for Team Fnatic, and now they're going to come in just too late to contest that Dragon.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate by Fnatic. They did see a bit of Team OP grouping up to push mid, so they wanted to try to counter push the bottom lane. But the thing is that you can push mid a lot faster than you can push bottom, and with just the 2 champions from OP was actually able to scare them away. Very nice channel, like you were talking about, keeping both Janna and Cassidy alive when otherwise they should have died. I don't know why Fnatic didn't go for the dive there. They did know that the other 3 champions of Team OP were in the middle lane, but like you're saying, maybe they just didn't want to get caught too far out of position.
Nolja, as you mentioned even before the game, has been severely counter-jungling Cyanide this entire time. They're going after it, but they don't know Corn Salad is there. Nolja's waiting to jump back on one of them. Oh no, Xpeke. Oh, it's a good thing he was just warding that bush.
One more turret does go down for Fnatic, so that's going to be 3 for 0, or 4 for 0 at the moment, excuse me. Giving a really nice gold lead for Team OP, almost up to 9K now. This is something that Fnatic's really going to have to come together, get some really good ganks against this Team OP team.
Nolja is going to go ahead and take the red buff, it looks like.
Yeah, Fnatic's a little too scared to even go into their own jungle. This is not a position you want to be in so early in the game. Only 21 minutes left. If Team OP realizes how safe Fnatic is playing, that could actually give them even more of a benefit than just stealing the buffs. They could go for a Baron. They could split push all the lanes at the same time, which they're starting to do slightly. Bottom lane, the minions are pushing up on their own, so Team OP just needs to wait. Caston's pushing up top lane because he has the mobility to get to the middle to defend if necessary. But they also have really nice ward coverage, so they know that Fnatic isn't even playing aggressively anywhere. So really, really comfortable position for Team OP to be in right now. Able to just continue to farm. I don't know.
Fnatic is doing a very good job of rewarding, though. They're keeping wards a lot of the places. You can see their south jungle has been rewarded very well, despite the fact that Nolja, with the infinite oracles, is clearing them out very, very much. He has not been dying much this game at all. And it looks like they're going to be clearing out the ward from Baron. I don't think they're quite going to go for it yet. Oh, never mind. I'm completely mistaken. They are going to go for Baron after all. Perhaps because they have wards all over the place and they know that there's no one too much in the area. Nocturne coming in. Can they get a ward in there at the right time? The ult throw goes off from... Oh, it's almost down. Are they going to try and jump in and steal it? Nocturne has the ability to jump in there very easily. The Asho goes down. Is he going to jump in? Now's the time. They go in. They do not get the steal, but can they get the kills? They only engage with a few of their members. They get one kill, but they trade it back. Fnatic is on the run here, but they do have a lot of health down on the enemy team. Here we go. Nolja getting so low. Xpeke trying to get away. He's going to try and get a kill before he dies. Can he escape? No, he cannot. The flash from Lilac gets the kill. It's all up to Lamia if he's going to try and claim any of these, but no, Lamia going in by himself just dies instead, and Shushay, the lone survivor, is barely
not going to be a survivor at all.
No!
He tries to decoy away, but that is not going to happen. That's going to be an ace for Team OP, and now they're going to push into the middle after stealing the
everything.
blue buff is about to be up again, so really, really nice job by Team OP. They knew that Fnatic was being completely, They knew Fnatic was being very safe with their play, so they could start the Baron. If they could get it down to a point like they did before Fnatic came in, then they knew they could just take it on their own. If they came in a little bit earlier, then they had the strength to be able to back off and fight them with the Janna ult and the Jarvan 4 ult. They had a lot of positioning and zoning ability to be able to set the fight up exactly how they wanted it, and that's what happens. They got 2 for 5, very nice trade for them, able to completely zone out the map, grab the blue buff once again from Fnatic before heading back and spending the money that they earned very easily.
Yep. Oh, almost able to pick off Nolja there, 4v1, but stun doesn't land. I hate to say it, Torch, but I felt like that was Fnatic's opportunity. They needed to steal the Baron and win the fight, and instead they lost the Baron and lost the fight. And now they're so far behind. Of course, they don't even have any of their inhibitor towers under threat right now. So until they lose an inhibitor, it's not really at the point where they can lose in one shot.
Yeah, but if you look at the items of Team OP, there's 2 Trinity Forces on their teams already. They're going to be doing a ton of damage. Udyr is the only one that's really going super tanky, but it doesn't matter because with all the DPS that's coming out from Team OP, they're just able to tear through the team of Fnatic very, very quickly. There's no one on Fnatic that is a super tanky champion either, so having all these assassins is just really, really good for OP. They're able to finish the fight before Fnatic can really do anything about it. So really, really nice team composition coming out from Team OP.
Oh, they're going in. They're focusing down Nolja as he goes after Xpeke. And Nolja able to get out of that fight. He's actually still taking turret aggro. A Sharp's going to go down very quickly. Shushe gets barely healed up there. Ulting out as well. It looks like we're going to see an engagement, but he goes down as well. Jarvan getting killed out. Nocturne diving in. Oh, and the Valkyrie over the edge, but Cyanide follows him. Expecting going in with his ultimate, able to get a kill. Is he going to be able to get Corn Salad? No, he is not. Not quite going to be able to finish it off, but that was 3 kills for 1. Nicely done.
Yeah, OP being a little too aggressive. They were overconfident in that fight, but they're still up over 10k gold, so not a big deal. No, Baron's not up at the moment. Dragon is up, so Fnatic could go for it right now if they were prepared, but it looks like they're still going to be afraid of Nolja, and all the champions of OP are going to be up in 10 seconds, so it's better for them just to grab their own buffs. Their own red is up, going to send it to most likely Shushe because Lamia already has the red buff, unless he just wants to reset the timer on it.
Corn Salad's getting a little bit of help from Shart, taking out this blue buff. He's going to be able to get that going, get his mana regen on. Now, we actually did see that Kassadin in the previous fight only died, and he only got an assist in the fight after that, the most recent fight, so he hasn't gotten his Soul Stealer up to any kind of ridiculous level. So Corn Salad is pretty fed. He's doing very well, but he's not ridiculous at this point yet.
Yeah, at this point in the game, that Magi Soul Stealer is actually kind of a waste of gold. He could have done a little bit better by grabbing that Rabadon's Death Cap a little bit earlier. He does have the Rod of Ages, though, so he's going to be getting a lot of health, a lot of AP. But Lilac getting caught here.
Melisande, Lamia, and Xpeke going after him. Is he going to be able to flash over?
Beautiful
He
dodge.
is, but Shushe's there as well. The ultimate going off. Everyone's descending on this location. Lilac goes back in and actually gets a kill instead of dying and is able to walk away from that. Fnatic not able to capitalize on it. There's the ult, though, from Xpeke. Is he going to jump behind? Is he going to use it to escape? Shushe using Decoy to get out. Nolja chases and gets the kill, though. They need to turn this around right now. No, Lamia! The AD carry goes down, and that goes with it any chance of Fnatic to turn that fight around.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. They did get the jump on Lilac, able to do a lot of damage to him, and he was able to flash away from that Ash Arrow. And then Xpeke took him down very close to death, but then switched targets to Kassadin. He wanted to get Corn Salad out of the fight really, really quickly, but when Lilac jumped on him, he was still fighting Kassadin. 1 or 2 more hits and he would have been able to take out Lilac, but it reversed on him. He was the one that got killed, and then without Xpeke in the fight, that's a lot of damage that's not coming out from the Fnatic team, and the rest of the team was able to be taken out very, very easily by OP.
Wow, yeah, I thought Xpeke, he turned on his ultimate, and I thought he was going to gate to behind Lilac and finish him off. So he'd be kind of out of position, but at least he'd get the kill and be able to escape. But instead, he just kind of stayed there, wasn't able to pull it off. Maybe he got stunned, I didn't see. But Lilac's, what is he doing? He's like looking around.
A little comfortable, doesn't even have his headset on, doesn't need that.
Well, 15,000 gold separates these two teams, but still no inhibitors down for Team Fnatic. I mean, they could still actually, if they lose a team fight and don't kill, you know, at least a few of Team OP, they could lose the game still. They could make a push through the inhibitor directly into the... We're seeing some laughing coming down from Paragon.
Well, that's the thing, is Ashe isn't actually that far behind in creep score against Corki, but is very far behind in the kill, so the gold disparity is relatively large. Ashe does have an Infinity Edge and a Phantom Dancer, so okay at this point in the game, but not nearly as good as that Trinity Force and Infinity Edge for Paragon there. So a little bit difficult in the AD department, but then the AP department, Twisted Fate is actually doing quite a bit better than Kassadin. A lot more kills, a lot more CS. So he does have that Rabadon's Death Cap and is almost getting the Ryla's Crystal Scepter as well. So he's going to be able to do really, really well. Well, actually, I'm not sure if that's what he's building for, but...
he actually has less creep score, but the general amount of kills that he has...
Than Kassadin?
Oh, I thought you meant Kassadin had more kills.
No.
Okay, you're exactly right.
Xpeke's got more money than Kassadin, but it doesn't matter because the rest of Team OP is doing extremely well. They are able to engage on this
Baron's
Baron.
going down very quickly. The ultimate goes down. Can he steal it? Oh! They steal the Baron! Fnatic gets the Baron! And Levy able to put down tons of hurt there. Why are they running? They need to engage on this with Baron. Paragon is so hurt. They do run away and they escape with 3. But XPK, barely gets away.
Yeah, they couldn't fight that because they were a little bit low. They did use a lot of their ultimates.
Oh, were they?
To be able to get that Baron buff, but it was a good trade. Just a little unfortunate that they're going to lose this inhibitor for it. If it was just Cyanide that died and then the rest of them backed off Shusei staying alive, then it would have been very, very good in their favor. 4 champions would have been able to defend against this, but instead, OP is going to be able to take down a turret, take down both inhibitors, able to move around here before Shusei comes back alive while it's still going to be a 5v4. Very good for OP, but no, instead they're just going to back off, let the super minions do the work for them, steal a bit more of the gold from the Fnatic jungle.
Nolja doesn't even care about that ward. He's going to walk right by it with his oracles. I guess I was just, afterwards I thought about it and they were not in the best position. That was the problem there, but at the time I was thinking you had Paragon, Corki at half health. You had another, I don't remember who it was, but someone else was at half health, and they just stole the Baron. It would have been a perfect time if they'd had better positioning, I think, to engage on that. But you're right, Lamia actually was a little bit vulnerable there and couldn't actually do as much damage as he wanted to. Yeah,
that's the problem, is that Fnatic doesn't really have any sort of engagements other than the Ash Hour or Nocturne and Twisted Fate jumping in. Once the fight starts, then Shusei can go in and kind of disrupt everything that's going on, but none of those ultimates were available to be used after the Baron got stolen. So it just really wasn't a good position for the Fnatic team to go up against Team OP. When Team OP, you said that Paragon was hurt, but the thing is he can just Valkyrie away. Janna can kind of zone out the rest of Fnatic and keep him completely safe, and then he's just doing tons of damage from the back line, so that half health doesn't really matter because you're never going to be able to bring it down from half to 0.
That's why they couldn't bring it down, is he did Valkyrie away from the group basically and got to the back of it. That's right. Looks like OP trying to push a little bit here. Ash Arrow hits Nolja, but it doesn't matter if you hit Nolja. It's very, very difficult to kill Udyr, even if you stun him.
But A-Lilac being a little aggressive coming in from the side. He doesn't really care what's going on. He's going to stay with super minions.
Get an engagement. That tower is almost gone. The tower's going to go down very quickly, and then we're going to see them engage on Team Fnatic. There they go. Paragon doing tons of damage. Cataclysm behind, tying up half the team while Cyanide goes down. Lamia flashes away. He's falling back. Is he going to be able to get enough damage? No. Lamia goes down as well, and with it, any chances of Fnatic doing well in that fight. Ash Shards keeping him alive, and I believe that is going to be game. All of Team Fnatic is down for a good 30 seconds, so this is a best of 3, ladies and gentlemen, but Team OP is going to take game number 1 and have the advantage going in here. Team Fnatic is going to have to win game number 2 to even bring it to a 3rd ace match. There we go, GG! OP with another stomping.
Yeah, OP really pulling out a very strong team composition, knowing exactly when they could use